In his very short career, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been one of the best players we have ever seen in NBA history, putting up an impressive 6-time All-Star 2021 NBA champion. Obviously, he took home that Finals MVP. He is a 2-time MVP. He is an All-Star MVP and already a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. Now, with Giannis being this good, obviously, I feel like he deserves to win even more. Now, he is in a very young career. However, you guys, this is actually who you guys requested next, so we are going to be doing a Giannis Antetokounmpo Dream Team rebuild style thing here today. We are building him his dream team. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to comment down below who we should do next. You guys have been killing the support in this, so keep it going. First things first, we are going to be trading for Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, you may be like, hey, there's no way that the Timberwolves will ever trade Cat. That is actually not true. Cat is growing frustrated with the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially after acquiring Rudy Gobert and obviously not having any type of success with that. So I think Cat going on the Bucks next to Giannis fits them both so well. This one may be a little bit of a reach, but Trae Young has obviously been growing frustrated with his coach. Him and Nate McMillan have not been seeing eye to eye. I know a lot of players have been frustrated with Nate, so I'm assuming the coach is obviously going to get fired before they get rid of Trae Young, being that he is their building stone superstar piece. He's actually really solid, and I think he has a lot of room to grow still. But honestly, I think putting him next to a guy like Giannis is going to be one of the most unstoppable duos in the NBA. If you think about the success Trae Young has had running pick and rolls with a guy like Clint Capella, imagine what he could do with Giannis. Now, obviously, we're going to need some additional defense on this team by adding in Trae Young and Cat. The defense is going to take a little bit of a hit. So I think Dorian Finney-Smith is definitely one of the best pieces that you could have on this team. A really solid 3-and-D shooter, averaging like 40% from 3 in real life. So why not pair him next to a guy like Giannis? Now, this one may be a little bit biased, but you do obviously need, again, one more defensive piece next to a guy like Trae Young. For how much of a liability he is, I think the offense is covered enough between Trae, Cat, and Giannis that I think you need one more defensive piece, and why not go ahead and get Gary Goat himself, Gary Payton II. I actually really like this pickup for the Milwaukee Bucks, but we're not done yet. I really don't want to double up and get Clarkson again because we did just get him in the last video, but in that video I literally said about how Jordan Clarkson would be perfect on the Milwaukee Bucks, and I honestly think that because we're doing a Milwaukee Bucks Giannis dream team, he has to be on this team. Like, it wouldn't make sense if I left him off. This is what the rotation is going to be looking like. We have Trae Young, Gary Payton II, Dorian Finney-Smith, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Rounding out the bench, we have Jordan Clarkson as our 6th man. Again, I just really like this, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Joe Ingles, again, I told you guys I want to start keeping pieces on these teams that I think really do benefit next to the superstar we are building around. Joe Ingles, Grayson Allen, Serge Ibaka. I think all these guys are really solid, and I think all of them kind of fit perfect. Let's see how the first week in the NBA goes. We are literally getting a trade offer before our first game. We actually lose our first game 143 to 141 in regulation. Look at the duo of Embiid and Harden. But look at Trae Young, 45 points for Trae Young. Giannis, 22, 9, and 14. Cat had a good game. Gary actually had a really good game. Clarkson had a good game. It's just unfortunate that we ended up losing this game. Look at Dorian Finney-Smith, man. You had one job to just knock down some threes and play some defense. It is what it is. He bounces back, though. That's what you like to see. Let's take a look at week number 2. Now, the Knicks game is going to be interesting as we do win, which is good. The Knicks game is kind of funny to me because, again, you know, you have the Garden, which Trae Young, that's his whole thing. You know, Giannis has had some battles in MSG before, so it's pretty interesting. Look at Giannis, 19, 20, and 10. Trae Young, 46 and 14, looking really solid there. We actually weren't in the Garden, but it was against the Knicks. Look at Trae Young. You knew he had to show out. Giannis is playing really well. He's not scoring the ball that much, but he's doing literally everything else, which is pretty solid. And then against the Hawks, Giannis shows out. Trae Young doesn't do all that much against his former team. But Drew Holiday, I mean, it was his revenge game. I guess it kind of makes sense. Let's go ahead and sim one more week just to get that revenge game against the Timberwolves, and Cat does get his revenge. We're actually not winning by as much as I thought we were, but, I mean, a win's a win. So approaching the trade deadline here, we're actually 38 and 10 as of right now. Let's see. I'm actually kind of curious to see who is leading this team in scoring. Like, I feel like it should be Giannis. But at the same time, I wouldn't really be surprised if it was Trae Young. Trae Young has been putting up some pretty good numbers. So like I said, it's going to be interesting to see. So we are 43-11 at the trade deadline here. So player stats, it is going to be Trae Young, but by 0.5 points. We do have 3 20-point per game scores, which is what I like to see. Giannis, 27, 14, and 9 with a steal and 2 blocks per game. Absolutely insane. 3-ball could be a little bit higher, I guess, but Trae Young putting up really good numbers as well. Cat putting up really good numbers, shooting 44% from 3. That is what you like to see, man. Again, I kind of compare him to Brook Lopez in my head, obviously without that shooting or without the rim protecting ability. You're kind of sacrificing that, but getting even better at shooting. So I'll take it. Jordan Clarkson off the bench with 14 DFS. Gary Payton both averaging 9 points. Perfect. Bench unit putting in some good work as well. You love to see it. Let's go ahead and take a look at our NBA standings, though. Points per game, we are 3rd, and defense, we are 1st with an average point differential of 14. So the team doesn't dominate as much as I thought it was, but we still are doing pretty good. Let's see who are our all-stars, though. We should have Trae Young, which Trae Young is a starter. Giannis was a captain. Wow. Giannis was a captain and doesn't even take his teammate. That is messed up. And we get Karl Anthony Towns. This is the first time that our 3-headed team that we built actually had all 3 of them be all-stars. Luka Doncic is your MVP. Again, I feel like I say this every video, and none of us are ever surprised. We do go 67 and 15, though, so Giannis is on the All-NBA first team. No Trae. So Trae Young and Cat both make the All-NBA third team. So again, a second video in a row, actually, where we had our players actually make these teams. Giannis on the All-Defensive first team. You love to see it. I was just hoping somehow we could get Gary Payton out of that. That would be nuts. Our first round matchup is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Taking a look at our player stats here. Trae Young kind of boosted his scoring a little bit more, almost getting to that 28 points per game mark. Clarkson did go down a little bit, but I'm assuming these superstars just kind of picked it up a little bit towards the end of the season. Let's take a look here. We ended up finishing as the 2nd best offensive team and the best defensive team, again with the highest point differential in the NBA. So going up against the Cavs in round 1 shouldn't be a problem, as we do sweep them. Not bad. Going up against the Miami Heat in round number 2, they do steal a game on us. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how they went and beat us. They blew us out. They beat us by 31, and I'm pretty sure we were... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means we were home, if I'm not mistaken. It was game 2, right? Yeah, game 2, we were home and got beat by 31. That is bad. Trae was fighting. Giannis was somewhat fighting. He took 8 threes. What are you doing? DFS could not hit a shot. Cat only took 6 shots. Oh, man, we deserved to lose that game. Lowry dropped 21 and 12. They had 4 people drop 20 points on it. Yeah, we kind of deserved to lose that game. I'm not really surprised. Going up against the Indiana Pacers in the conference finals here, we do win game number 1. They have Chris Boucher, Jalen Smith, Miles Turner, Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Chris Duarte. No minutes for Benedict III. No, interesting. They do get completely blown out, though, in game number 1. I am assuming that this should be a complete sweep, and it is, as we do advance to the NBA Finals. D'Lo and the Timberwolves make it. So the Sim God himself loses to LeBron. The other Sim God loses to the team we are facing in the NBA Finals, which is crazy to me because they do not have Cat. We did give them Middleton, so without Cat, maybe Middleton opens the floor up for them, but this is the rematch of the century. Middleton versus Giannis, swapping teams here. Obviously, we do take game number 1. I'm pretty confident we're going to win this series. Giannis 32, 8 and 8. Not bad. Middleton, again, he's fighting, but they did only lose by 1. They are kind of fighting a little bit. We do go up 3-0. D'Lo puts up a big game. Middleton puts up a big game. Edwards puts up a good game. But again, it is no match. Look at Cat, man. He is really sealing the deal here. Final game in Minnesota. We do win the championship. Giannis is your finals MVP. Game 4, we were led by Trae Young. Monstrous games from oh my God. We took 51 free throws as a team and we made 40. Oh my God. That is going to do it, though, guys. We've actually been on a streak of winning championships, so hopefully we can keep that going. The next requested video is Joel Embiid, so if you guys want to see anybody else, be sure to comment down below who you would like to see.